Welcome into the I-80 Boys College Football Show. Chris, the USC Trojans, Lincoln Riley, that guy out west, as Oklahoma fans refer to him as. What is your thoughts on USC here? Almost said Oklahoma. What's your thoughts on USC? How many wins? How many losses?
Well, they're basically the same team in a way. No, here's the thing, man. I harp on Lincoln Riley, and I will continue to. You guys know if you follow the channel at all, Christian and I get on his ass about the lack of defense, right? I have USC going 7-5, and I think I'm being generous here. I know you're maybe a little shocked, Christian. Here's my losses: Illinois, Michigan, Notre Dame, Nebraska, Oregon. I want to hear your thoughts before we really get into it. What's your record prediction for Lincoln Riley and the Trojans this season?
Damn, dog. We are miles apart on this. I got them going 10-2 with losses to Notre Dame and in Oregon. Yeah, I got them going 10-2. I think outside of those two teams, I mean, look, it's kind of a cake schedule. Yeah, they got to go travel on the road to play Illinois and Nebraska and everything like that. But
sleeping on the Illini, my guy. You're sleeping on them.
I'm not sleeping on the Illini, but here's the thing. Eventually, Lincoln Riley's got to do something there, right? I mean, it's kind of like waking a sleeping giant. At some point, now there's no reason when you get into it, because I think defensively they look really freaking boring this year. But you got to remember, they did add D'Anthony Lynn, who was a defensive coordinator at UCLA under Chip Kelly, helped improve that program. And they were better defensively last year. We saw that in the first game against LSU, right? I mean, they were better defensively. Second year, I got to think they take some steps forward defensively. We know offensively, it doesn't. You could put a middle schooler back there and they're going to put up numbers under Lincoln Riley.
Look, man, I don't know why you're glazing Lincoln Riley right now, man. Like, I don't get it. I've seen this guy at Oklahoma. I've seen this guy at this is year 4 or 5 at USC. It's the same shit. This guy talks about great defense. It never happens. Everybody buys into it. And they end up shitting the bed. They finished 77th in total defense last year, 98th against the pass, 53rd against the run, man. Until I see it, I'll believe it. I think I'm being generous at 7-5, man. I just don't think USC's cut out for the Big Ten under Lincoln Riley. Yes, you are correct about some things. He might be the best offensive coordinator in mind in college football. I agree. The guy, he's ridiculously great at offense. And I like D'Anthony Lynn, but I know it's year 2 for him here, and I get it. I understand it. But I can't buy into the USC Trojans again this season. 10-2, man. Holy shit, dude. What are you smoking, my guy?
Hey, if you're going to shoot, man, shoot for the moon, right? That's what I like to say. I want to touch on what's their most important game here, Chris?
All of them. I mean, I think the game on the road at Illinois. I mean, I want to say Purdue, but Purdue's terrible. Illinois. I think you're sleeping on Illinois, man. I really do. I like Illinois this year. I know we've talked about them a little bit. I think that game is huge. I mean, that stretch there at Illinois, Michigan, at Notre Dame, at Nebraska. I could see USC losing all 4 of those.
It's like you said. It's very possible. To me, I've got them most important game at Notre Dame. For obvious reasons. Yeah, to me could get into this game, potentially could go into that game undefeated, and could be the difference in whether or not USC makes the playoffs this year. Now, I know you're thinking like they're not making the playoffs. There's no way they're making the playoffs. To me, hey, it's Bulls and Bears stock market 101 here. You're looking at them through one lens. I'm looking at them through the other. That's the great part about college football, and that's why we do this, all right? Because we're going to be different on some things. Me and Chris have been pretty much spot on with every other pick, and I might eat some crow on this. I like USC, though, this year. I'm not saying they're going to win the national championship, for Christ's sakes, but I do think they're going to be a better team this year. Look, 2022 was the last time USC beat Notre Dame. Is it going to be 3 years in a row? Chris seems to think so.
I do.
Another interesting game, real quick, before we move on. Nobody's talking about it outside of USC, maybe. Georgia Southern. Chris, Georgia Southern's head coach is Clay Helton. Now, I don't know if anybody knows who Clay Helton is or not, but USC fans certainly do because he was their head coach before going over to Georgia Southern. So he gets to return back to USC. Should be a pretty interesting game there. Just keep it in mind. They could lose to Georgia Southern. Who knows? looking at what this team lost last year, Chris, they lose guys like Woody Marks, Jalen Smith, Manuel Pregnon, Zachariah Branch, Deuce Robinson, Quentin Joyner, Easton Macarenas Arnold, and Mason Cobb. They bring in guys like Eli Sanders at the running back position, had over 1,000 yards, 9 touchdowns at New Mexico last year. Cornerback C.J. Harvey from San Jose State. I thought he was a really good corner, had 4 picks, 6 pass breakups last year. Pretty good addition there. And Bishop Fitzgerald. He's a center fielder at the safety spot out of NC State. Had 55 tackles, 3 interceptions, and 8 pass breakups last year. Should help shore up the back end of that defense. Some of their top returning players, Jaden Maiviava, took over the starting job for Miller Moss kind of halfway through the season there and put up in 5 games over 1,200 yards and 15 total touchdowns. I think this kid, I'm not going to say he's going to be a Heisman winner this year, but I do think he can do some pretty special things with Lincoln Riley. We know Lincoln Riley is one of those guys, he's hit or miss. Either you're winning a Heisman or you're probably making people wonder whether Lincoln Riley should be a head coach at this level. So there's like no in between, I feel like, at the quarterback play under Lincoln Riley. Some of their top other returning players here, wide receivers Mekhi Lemon and Jacoby Lane combined for 15 touchdowns and 1,300 total yards last year. Defensive end Braylon Shelby had 3 tackles last year, 28 tackles, leading the defensive line as well. Eric Gentry, 33 total tackles, 2 sacks, and Kamari Ramsey, 60 total tackles, was definitely the best part of that secondary last year to go alongside of Fitzgerald at the other safety spot. Chris, I want to touch on this real quick for you here. Everybody touches on their offense with Lincoln Riley and USC. What about the defense? When you look at this defense, what do you think this year is going to look like for them?
Like I stated, I just don't see a lot of change. I mean, they finished 77th in total defense, like I mentioned. They were garbage against the pass last year. They were damn near 100th, 53rd against the run. I just think, I know they're trying to transition to Big Ten play, right? This will be their second year in the Big Ten. I get the Big Ten's more physical. I mean, we know what the Pac-12 was for years, but my biggest thing, until I see it, what are we on, year 9 or 10 with Lincoln Riley? The same shit was at Oklahoma. Couldn't stop a nosebleed. I just won't buy into it until I see it. I do like DeAnthony Lynn, former coach at UCLA, or he was defense coordinator at UCLA, did some great things there. I like I said, I think it's going to be – USC is going to be one of these teams to me this year, up and down. I think there's going to be games where they play well. Offensively, I think they're going to be in a majority of games because of Lincoln Riley and what he's capable of as far as his play calling goes. And yeah, I like Maiviava. I mean, he's a good quarterback. We saw him. I think he went 3-1 last year. He was definitely better than Miller Moss halfway through the season there. But defensively, yeah, I'm just not sold, Christian. I don't, until I see it, I'll believe it, my guy.